Our team focus is to develop a standardized trustee education framework to facilitate knowledge creation amongst public library trustees in New York State. Our goal is to increase the confidence of system staff to provide regional trustee education, which in turn will increase the confidence of trustees within their system. Trustees in New York have a lot of support. The curriculum included in the HATS education framework will be stronger thanks to input and feedback from key community stakeholders. Our team firmly believes in tapping into the collective wisdom of these organizations to provide the resources needed for system staff to effectively educate their trustees. Educated and confident trustees are critical to the success of New York's libraries, just as libraries are critical to the future of our state. Ideally, trustees bring a passion for libraries, keen understanding of their roles, and a thorough knowledge of board management. However, trustees are not born knowing how to be trustees. Trustees need the support through education to help them be their best. Basic education of a maximum number of trustees will be critical to sustain and grow New York's libraries. The public library system infrastructure is well positioned to provide trustee education across the state. Library systems are designed to support local libraries, and system staff have the knowledge to tailor the curriculum to meet their trustees' educational needs. New York State has a diverse landscape represented by people with different cultural, educational, and social needs. Our libraries are at the center, meeting those needs with knowledgeable staff, a wide array of resources, exciting programs, and welcoming spaces. Public library systems understand the culture of their region and are well positioned to connect with their trustees. Our library's missions are many, but the common goal is to enhance the lives of their community members by helping them reach their full potential. Libraries can only accomplish this hefty goal by working with their communities to provide quality services, resources, and lifelong learning opportunities. Library trustees are the guardians of the most important public entity in the community. They are responsible for the governance, financial viability, and sustainability of the public library services, along with selection and evaluation of a qualified library director. The board has the final responsibility to see that its library provides the best possible service to its community. However, trustees are not alone. Leadership of libraries is a joint effort. As the library's governing body, the board has the responsibility to hire a competent library director and to evaluate that person's performance. It is an opportunity to infuse a library with energy, vision, and leadership, or to mire it with infighting and unclear roles. Education can make the most of this important relationship. The board and director are joined by others to help make the library a viable, visible, and vital part of the community. Staff, friends, volunteers, patrons, and other key community members. A board that well represents the community it serves and understands its role as connector can broaden support for the library. If trustees are not willing to speak up for their library, it is highly unlikely others in the community will. Trustees need to be empowered to advocate for the library. A library advocate is someone who understands the value and importance of public library service and who can communicate that value and importance to community stakeholders. Trustees need to develop these advocacy skills. Strong advocacy leads to financial support for a library. Since funding is the key to library services, the search for adequate funding must be a constant priority for all library trustees. Public libraries are at a critical juncture. Usage is up while funding is down. The trustees cannot afford to be complacent. They must adapt traditional tools and employ fresh thinking to secure the library's financial future. Library boards are governing in a time of increased regulation and oversight. The board has ultimate responsibility for all aspects of library financial management, from budgeting to spending to financial reporting. As custodians of public funds, trustees must be accountable in the management of the library's money. The work of the library board is done in full view of the public. Trustees volunteer their time, and that time is precious. It should not be wasted in a disorganized board meeting. Managing an effective meeting is the duty of the board president, but it is the responsibility for all board members to be prepared and ready to contribute. Boards are a team, and the development of that team is critical. Boards need to create an environment that is attractive to new recruits for the board to build the strongest team possible for the library. A strong board that understands its roles and does good work makes for a fun place to volunteer your time. It's also successful in recruiting. Library boards are legally responsible for the library, and therefore trustees have an obligation to understand the laws, regulations, and accountability requirements that the library falls under. Trustees should be aware of the consequences resulting from failure to obey these laws, understand how to avoid liability, and know the general rights of individual board members. The most important tools with which library trustees and staff provide effective service to the community are written board-approved policies. Carefully developed policies can help ensure high-quality library service, wise use of library resources, and fair treatment of library staff and users. Library policy development merits a serious commitment by trustees. Planning for libraries is the process of envisioning the future of both the community and the library and setting a direction for library movement toward a chosen vision. Planning helps the staff and board understand the situation of their community, set priorities, and establish methods for achieving those priorities. There is no question that we're in a time of turbulence for public libraries. The challenge is to be sure that we do not continue to act with yesterday's logic. The challenges faced by trustees today in ensuring the free flow of information and service are numerous. Technology, intellectual freedom, and finances are several of the complex and important issues affecting each public library. A public library is above all responsible to the community it serves. A board's number one priority is to anticipate community needs and act decisively to meet them. We have the opportunity to give our library trustees the tools to effectively govern our libraries and face the challenges that lie ahead. Last but not least, I would like to introduce the team. Our team mentor, Rebecca Smith-Aldrich, Coordinator for Library Sustainability at the Mid-Hudson Library System. Lisa Erickson, Communications Advocacy and Outreach Librarian at the Neoga Library System. Ron Kursip, Assistant Director at the Pioneer Library System. Grace Riario, Assistant Director at the Ramapo-Catskill Library System. Jennifer Ferris, Assistant Director at the Southern Adirondack Library System. And Amanda Travis, Member Library Liaison at the Onondaga County Public Library. We are HATS.